Hey gang, Will here from the Ashland Fly Shop, and today we're going to talk about the Holy Water Salmonfly hatch of 2014, which is quickly approaching here in the Rogue Valley. This is something that we really look forward to locally, although we do have salmonflies in other areas like the Klamath River and Northern California, McCloud River, and a few other places. You know, we really have an excellent salmonfly, stonefly hatch here on the Upper Rogue River. The Rogue River in general, but specifically the Upper Rogue, where there's a lot more vegetation and trees and stuff for them to really get in and do their thing. So I'm just going to kind of give you kind of a rundown of what I've seen over the last 7 years or so of this hatch. I do want to say that they recently did pump the flows up to about 2,200, which is I kind of anticipated they would, and that's for the salmon. The returning salmon. So I don't know if we'll see flows up into 3,000 or not for the hatch. It's possible. We have seen that before many times, but with the lower snowpack this year, I think we're going to be around 2,000 or maybe even below as we really get into the high point of the hatch. As we go through the video here, we're going to look at some fly selections or a few different flies. That I would suggest are just types of flies, and really a key part of the hatch is really having multiple patterns. The fish get pretty they get pretty wary pretty quickly of different types of fly patterns, and so really having different flies that you can go through can really make or break a day up there. And it seems like that's what I would say as someone selling flies, but I'm here to tell you it's absolutely true. There are definitely days when you can go up there during the hatch and you can throw almost anything out there and they'll look at it. But I've found really those days are just a kind of a small percentage of the whole arc of the hatch. Going early is not a bad idea, even when there's a few salmon flies out. And early would be even into next week, even into the beginning of May, into the middle of May, and kind of just throwing some salmon flies around and seeing what's happening. There's always a very small percentage of fish that starts looking early and starts looking for a few of those flies that have hit the water. Maybe there's only a handful of fish that eat one or two of them, but once they eat them, they know what they are, and they're hooked. They're in it. So even throwing a few flies around, it's a nice time to be up there. There's no one out there, and just kind of hucking some salmon flies around is a good idea. And you can throw around almost anything at that point. One of our absolute favorite patterns throughout the past several years is the chubby Chernobyl, in a tan color and a size 6. That's an excellent fly to start searching for fish during the hatch. So as we start to get into it and we start to see more bugs out and more bugs and more people, that's when you got to start playing this fly switch up game. And I've been up there many, many days when there's just been tons of flies around and the fish are just not reacting at all. So it's really tricky. And what I found on those days is stretching out, casting a little bit further, trying to find the more different lies where they might be than the typical sort of on the bank spots. That's when you can start seeing those fish. Even going through the same water 2 or 3 times with different flies really might get a strike. Skittering the fly, pulling the fly, hitting the fly on the water, bouncing it along, all things like that can really get a fish's attention, once the bugs are out and they're being a little picky. And the other thing I'd really stress too, as far as changing flies as well, and the same idea, is just go as much as you can, and go at different times. Go early in the day, even though the fish aren't out, or even though the bugs aren't really out. A lot of times the fish are still really looking for them. At that time, they'll really try to kind of go for whatever's there. So I really suggest trying different times a day. The peak time is always going to be in the mid to late afternoon into the evening when the day warms up and there's more bug activity. But try that morning time. I've been real surprised with some very, very good sessions earlier in the day once the weather warms up. Look for the peak of the hatch to be from around the last week of May through the second week of June. That's when we'll really see the bulk of that activity. Then there's also after the hatch. We have really seen some excellent fishing in the last several years after the hatch is really over, when the bugs are kind of gone and it seems pretty quiet up there. But this is when you really want to take a very, very realistic looking fly. Ken Morrish has tied some great patterns in the last couple years. One of them is called the Still Stone. It doesn't have any wing on it. It's a very streamed down, very natural looking fly. And we've done excellent on this fly in the post Salmonfly activity. And you might not get as many fish, but you'll definitely turn some heads, with this. And this could go from mid-June into late June, fishing a salmonfly sort of after the fact. That's a really good way to approach it. So that's kind of a snapshot of the arc of the Holy Water Salmonfly hatch. It's pretty much a month-long affair with a good solid 2 weeks of pretty intense bug activity from around the first, last week of May through the second week of June. And boy, it's really great. If you're lucky enough to be up there on a day when they're just smashing them, it's an incredibly fun experience, really unique fly fishing experience. Great time to go if you're a beginner, an excellent time to be up there. It's kind of what the sport is all about, and it's a really neat thing, and we really enjoy it here at the shop. So if you have any questions, give us a call and be happy to talk to you in more detail about it. We look forward to it, and we'll hope to see you out there. Thank you.